Hello, my name is Miss Leona from Houston Public Library. Welcome to Storytime. And today I'm going to tell you a story. Now sometimes you hear this story as Lazy Jack, but I like to call it Obedient Jack. You see, once upon a time there was a boy named Jack who lived with his mother. And they were very poor. She did the best she can to feed him and to take care of him. But he just kept getting bigger and bigger and wanting to eat more and more. And finally his mother said, "Jack, you need to go out into the world and earn some money and help me. So go on and find a job, and I know you can do it." "All right, Mother, I will try." And so he went out and he found a job for a farmer. And he worked all day, and at the end of that day he got a penny in payment. Now, he'd never had a penny before. He was very excited. But he didn't know where to put it because he didn't have a purse. And so he put it in his hand and he started to walk home. And he's walking home and he starts throwing it up in the air. It just looks so beautiful. Oh! He lost it in the bushes and he couldn't find it. So he came home and he had nothing to show for his work. "Jack, you should have put it in your pocket. Then you wouldn't have lost it." "I'm sorry, Mother. I'll do what you say next time." Well, the next day he went to work for a dairyman, and he worked all day. And at the end of the day, he got a jar of milk for his payment. Well, remembering what his mother said, he put the jar in his pocket and he started to walk home. But what happened to that milk? Of course, it started to slosh out and it went down his leg. So by the time he got home and he pulled out the jar, it was almost empty. "Jack! Jack! Oh, my goodness! You should have carried it on your head. Then you wouldn't have spilled all the milk." "I'm sorry, Mother. I'll do what you say next time." So the next day, Jack went back to the dairyman, and after working all day, he got a pound of butter for his work. Well, he thought about what his mother had said, and he put it on his head and he started walking home. Now, if it was a warm day like today, do you know what happened to that butter? It melted, didn't it? And it started melting down his hair and down his face and down his neck. And by the time he got home, oh, he looked all buttery. But there was no butter to eat. "Jack, look at you. You're such a mess. You should have put that butter in cool leaves and carried it home. Then you wouldn't have lost it." "I'm sorry, Mother. I'll do what you say next time." Well, the next day, Jack went to work for a baker. And he worked all day very diligently. And at the end of the day, the baker gave him a cat in payment. Well, he thought his mother would like the cat, but he thought about what she said, and so he wrapped the cat up in cool leaves and started to carry it home. But you know, do you think the cat liked being carried in cool leaves? Not at all. So the cat got upset, and it started to growl and snarl, "Meow, meow," and scratched Jack and jumped away, and Jack never could catch it. And so he came home once again with nothing. "Jack, Jack! All these days and nothing to show for all your work. Oh, Jack, you should have tied a rope around the cat's neck and led it home." "I'm sorry, Mother. I'll do what you say next time." Well, the next day, Jack went to work for a butcher. And after a long day of work, he got a big piece of meat for his payment. Oh, he was excited about that, taking it home and letting his mother cook it. But remembering what his mother said, he tied a rope around the end of the meat and he started leading it home. Well, that wasn't so good. As it bumped along, it got all dirty, and the dogs in the neighborhood came and bit on the meat. So by the time he got home, he lifted it up and there was a dirty old bone and nothing else. "Jack, Jack, you are such a silly boy. You should have carried it on your shoulders. Then you wouldn't have lost all that meat. Oh, I could have enjoyed that meat so much." "I'm sorry, Mother. I'll do what you say next time." Well, the next day, in fact, the whole next week, Jack went to work in a stable. And he worked very hard, shoveling and cleaning. And at the end of the week, you know what he got? He got a donkey. Well, he looked at that donkey and he thought, I did well. I did well, but what did my mother say? Oh, yeah. So then he took the donkey and he leaned down and he put him on his shoulders. And he started to walk back home carrying the donkey. Oh, it was so heavy. Now the village where he had to pass through, there was a merchant who lived there with his daughter. Now his poor daughter, she could not speak or hear. Now the physicians that looked at her said she wouldn't speak or hear until someone could make her laugh. And so the merchant had sent out to everyone, anyone who can make my daughter laugh can marry her. But of course Jack didn't know about that. He was busy working. So he's walking down the road carrying this donkey, and the donkey doesn't like it. And he's waving his legs, hee-haw, hee-haw, and Jack's trying to hold on, hee-haw, hee-haw. He was having a terrible time trying to hold on to this donkey when suddenly he heard someone laughing. Father, look at that boy. He's carrying a donkey. Look at him. He's so funny. And the merchant turned and saw that it was his daughter that was talking. She had been cured. And so he called back to Jack. Young man, come here. Put that donkey off your shoulders and come here. And so Jack did as he was told, and he went to the merchant. Young man, you have cured my daughter, making her laugh, and you may marry her if you like. What? Well, I don't know. I'll marry if she wants to. She seems like a nice lady. Yeah, I want to marry him. He's funny. I like him. And so they were married, and they went to live in the merchant's big house where they had lots to eat and a wonderful, comfortable place to live. And you know who else came and lived with them? His mother. And she was glad that after all, her son was obedient Jack. The end. Thank you for joining us for Storytime. I hope you'll come back again. Goodbye.